Okay, friends, I'm over on the other side of the road from our park now, which is going downhill, deep down.
In this video, we're breaking down a chilling first-hand Bigfoot encounter that left even seasoned researchers questioning what they thought they knew. This isn't about blurry photos or distant howls. This is face-to-face. From eerie vocalizations to an encounter that nearly ended in disaster, we'll walk through the moments that turned one ordinary trip into a life-changing experience. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, stick around, because what you're about to hear just might change your mind.
When I was doing the FLIR, it ran.
Well, you're allowed to FLIR whatever you think. I mean, don't let nothing stop you.
Small Town Monsters begins as an independent film series, uncovering the lost and bizarre histories tucked away in small towns across the United States. Over time, it evolves into a renowned YouTube channel and documentary powerhouse, releasing more than 10 films, several investigative series, and a steady stream of exclusive content. What sets Small Town Monsters apart is its commitment to telling stories through the words and experiences of the people most affected, local residents and eyewitnesses.
That I've heard a lot about over the years. This is a place that when I was first getting into Bigfoot stuff, you heard tons of stories about activity around.
Their journey begins in 2015 with Minerva Monster, a film exploring strange occurrences in Minerva, Ohio, during the late 1970s. Years later, they continue pushing the boundaries of cryptid investigation, focusing on folklore, eyewitness accounts, and deep investigations into unexplained phenomena. In an episode of their series Bigfoot Decoded, researcher Mark Deworth recounts his own extraordinary Bigfoot sighting near Wells Creek, Ohio.
Mark Deworth had told me that there's a strip lake back here. So it hit me that this is all strip mine land.
The area has long been known as a Sasquatch hotspot, and Deworth's personal experience only adds to its mysterious reputation. As he approaches the edge of a pond, he hears a strange sound, something that strikes him as similar to a mother goose in panic. But when he looks to his left, he realizes it's not a goose at all. It's a Sasquatch. More specifically, a female Sasquatch. When asked how he knows it's female, Mark describes its obvious features: its breasts hanging noticeably, wide hips compared to a narrower waist, and an overall appearance that reminded him of a woman who had given birth to many children. The creature makes an odd, almost goose-like sound as it walks away from him along the edge of the strip pond. Mark stands there in complete shock, his jaw hanging open. As the female Sasquatch disappears into the distance, another figure steps out from behind a tree, the big one. The larger Sasquatch seems to be watching from a distance, stepping into view just as she walks away behind it.
Got right almost to the edge of the pond. He heard what he said like a mother goose in panic. And as he came to the edge and looked to his left, it wasn't a mother goose, it was a Sasquatch.
For Mark, encounters with Sasquatch leave a lasting impact. He shares how his own life-changing sighting occurred in Minerva back in 2021. Even now, he replays the event in his head nearly every day.
A female Sasquatch, though, and I said, well, how would you know it was a female? He says, well, it had obvious breasts. They were hanging there. And he said it had very wide hips as in compared to its waist.
The memory lingers somewhere between a pleasant nostalgia and a frustrating mystery, like a puzzle he's never quite able to finish. Yet, despite the lingering questions, there's a sense of excitement.
He says almost like a woman that's had many children. And he said it was making this goose sound as it was walking away from him. And he said, I just stood there with my jaw hanging to the ground.
Watching Mark wander through the same forest where his first encounter happened reveals an almost giddy energy. It's refreshing to see such passion from a researcher, one who has lived through an experience that forever changed his understanding of the world.
A life-changing incident is something that I've experienced for myself. Mine was a Bigfoot sighting in Minerva back in 2021.
Later in the episode, Mark describes another moment that rattles him to his core. He recalls a time when he's out in the field, recording footage. A friend notices something is wrong and asks him point blank,
I still replay that event in my head nearly every day. The lingering effects are somewhere between a pleasant sort of nostalgia, a frustrating mystery that I'm always trying to unravel.
What did you just see? A ghost? Mark answers, Bigfoot. His friend reacts with confusion and disbelief, demanding to know where and what Mark saw. At this point, Mark is visibly shaken. His friend urges him to pause the recording and take a breath. Mark complies, stopping the camera and calming himself down.
And a puzzle that I'm trying to put together, but always find myself missing different pieces. For Mark, there seems to be an almost giddy excitement in being here.
His friend comments that Mark looks like he's in shock. Mark did manage to capture some of it on video, but he's reluctant to share the footage. He admits that he doesn't like showing people what he recorded. He once told his friend about it, but never showed the actual video.
And then someone will say, hey, could you take me down to the area where your incident happened? And it's like, well, you know, let's go find it. And of course, after you look around for a bit, you realize.
Then Mark recalls something chilling. 3 men had walked in about a quarter to half a mile back from where they were. He suspects that when they initially entered the area, the Sasquatches were already bedded down nearby. And when the 3 men split up, 1 leaving and 2 staying, that's when the Sasquatch made a decision to follow.
I've heard stories about Bigfoot, but he goes, I've never seen anything. But he goes, have you ever heard of badgers in Ohio?
Mark reflects on a hard-learned truth. When there's one Bigfoot, there's always more than one.
And I remember him walking up, and he walked on this side of me. And I remember him looking at me, he says, what'd you just see, a ghost? And I'm, Bigfoot. He's like, what, where?
Small-town Monsters continues to shed light on the strange and unexplained, giving a voice to those whose experiences defy easy explanation. Their dedication to storytelling and investigation makes them a standout in the world of cryptid documentaries.
There's just, you know, and I couldn't explain it. And he says, can you just pause recording? And I did. I stopped recording, calmed down. He said he looked like I was going through shock.
And their work offers a compelling glimpse into America's most enduring mysteries.
Hey fam, ready for nightmares? Check out Knock Knock for the scariest, most bone-chilling encounters caught on camera. Link in the description. If you dare.
Midwest Bigfoot Researchers is a YouTube channel dedicated to exploring the unknown. Based out of Michigan, this team of dedicated researchers has been investigating strange phenomena for over 6 years, traveling from Michigan to Florida in search of answers. Their boots-on-the-ground approach has gathered an impressive collection of videos, pictures, and potential evidence of Bigfoot and other elusive creatures. Their work combines patience, expertise, and a genuine curiosity about what might be lurking just beyond the tree line. In this video, the team revisits a sighting from July 20th, 2021 in Evart, Michigan, a possible encounter with a juvenile Sasquatch hiding high in the trees.
First, I'll show you where to look. All right, here is your first stable look at a distance of the subject in the tree.
The footage begins with a stable view of the surrounding forest. The researcher calmly guides viewers, pointing out where to focus their attention. At first glance, it seems like nothing unusual, but then the camera zooms in on a dark shape clinging to the tree. The figure is partially obscured, blending in with the thick branches and bark. The narrator explains that this is the first stable look at the subject, giving viewers a distant perspective of something or someone perched in the tree.
As I get closer, you get a better look at him, and then I'll have, more on the breakdown here.
As the footage progresses, the camera gets closer, offering a better view of the mysterious figure. The anticipation builds as the narrator promises more details in the breakdown that follows. Along with this sighting, he mentions having a few more encounters to share after this moment.
Some weird looking tree growth. That's really weird. I'll head back to camp. Can't say I've ever seen nothing like that before.
Later in the video, the scene shifts to another moment deep in the woods. The camera captures thick growth and tangled branches as the researcher explores the area. There's an eerie stillness in the air. The narrator makes an offhand remark about the strange way some trees seem to grow here, hinting at the possibility that something isn't quite right. As he moves through the underbrush, he suddenly announces that he's about to head back to camp. His tone suggests a mix of curiosity and fatigue, but there's also a sense of wariness. He admits he's never seen anything quite like what he's witnessed out here. The combination of uncertainty and discovery lingers in his voice as the clip ends. As the breakdown continues, the focus returns to the juvenile Sasquatch figure.
Okay, and red is the subject, a juvenile Sasquatch that's wrapped around that tree.
The narrator methodically describes what he sees in the footage. According to his explanation, the red outline marks the subject, what he believes is a young Sasquatch, clinging tightly to the tree.
And he's holding a chunk of pine tree bark.
The creature is covered in a chunk of pine tree bark, using it as camouflage against the rough surface of the trunk.
And green is the face. And green here is the hand. Quite possibly the foot.
Green outlines highlight the creature's face and hand, and possibly even its foot. The figure appears to be wrapped around the tree, holding itself still as if trying to stay hidden from view.
And in red is a big chunk of pine tree bark that he's trying to hide behind.
The narrator points out that the chunk of bark is large, almost like a shield the creature uses to break up its outline and blend in with its surroundings. He provides additional still images, zoomed in as far as the footage allows. The black and white versions of the images help enhance the contrast, making the figures slightly more distinguishable.
Okay, once again, here's that poop moment.
Oh, you're sweating or pooping or something, huh?
There's even a moment of levity when the narrator jokes about the figure pooping or sweating in the tree.
And no, it is not a tree growth, it pooped.
But he quickly clarifies that what they're seeing is not a tree growth. It's something else entirely. He remains convinced that this is not a trick of light or a random formation. The evidence, though not conclusive, is compelling enough to spark debate and further investigation. This video is another piece in the puzzle for the Midwest Bigfoot researchers, adding to their growing archive of strange encounters. Their work continues to raise questions about what might be living deep in the forests of Michigan and beyond. Whether skeptic or believer, viewers are left with one thought: there just might be something out there. Southern Alberta Bigfoot Exploration is a YouTube channel dedicated to Sasquatch research and exploration. Based in the vast wilderness of Alberta, Canada, he invites viewers to join him on a journey of discovery through rugged terrain and dense forests. His mission is to uncover evidence of Bigfoot and share his findings with the world, offering a glimpse into the mysterious phenomena that have captivated explorers and enthusiasts alike. In this particular investigation, he documents a striking formation deep within the forest.
Yeah, it was just a great big horizontal log that was kind of weaved in and out of all of these trees up through here.
He describes it as a massive horizontal log that stretches across the forest floor. What makes it so unusual is the way it's intricately woven in and out of several trees, almost as if it had been intentionally placed there. Surrounding this main structure are numerous leaners, smaller trees that rest at an angle against the large horizontal piece.
And then had a bunch of leaners, like this one here, all placed against it.
He points out a specific leaner nearby, drawing attention to its deliberate positioning. As he examines the scene, he reflects on how different it looks compared to earlier in the year. The entire area has changed noticeably since he last visited in the spring and the previous year. He suspects these changes are not random, suggesting something, or someone, may have altered the structure.
Okay, so another fresh break here. Very fresh. Feet up. Just hiking this trail through the old growthy Stuff back here.
As he continues his hike through an area of old